Women like me aren't supposed to run for office. We're supposed to survive quietly. My mother was a nurse. My father appraised homes.
We come from a long line of farmers, small business owners, educators, people who have tended to the land and built community.
They defended those who needed a protector. But these days it feels like those ideals have been forgotten.
I was 19 when I found out I was pregnant. I was terrified.
I didn't know if I could finish school or afford rent, but I made a choice. Not because the path was easy, but because it was mine to make. Then, after surviving domestic violence, I found myself in a system that wasn't built to catch people like me. I became a statistic, another name in a system. A young single mom on Medicaid and food stamps and WIC working 3 jobs just to barely survive. But I stayed in school, and I worked until midnight almost every day, whatever it took to keep a roof over our heads. I've waited tables, bartended, had my lights turned off, gone hungry so my kids didn't. I chose which bill got paid on time. I stretched every dollar and still came up short.
And when the babysitter canceled, I brought my kids with me to work or class because giving up just wasn't an option. I kept waiting for the people who promised to protect us in Tallahassee to show up and make our lives better, but they didn't.
And people aren't asking for much. People are asking for enough to get by. But every day gets harder. The cost of living climbs higher. Healthcare costs more but covers less. Families are drowning in bills and still being told to tighten their belts. And through it all, people feel invisible in the system built to serve them.
Continuing to wait isn't going to bring the change that we need. So I started building.
I built coalitions, joined committees and councils. I fed families, I wrote bills, and I brought survivors together to find solutions and end the stigmas. I was on the ground fighting for change, both locally and in Tallahassee. I wrote the Haven Act, a bill that gave survivors a pathway to safety, so victims could live to become survivors and have a chance to reclaim their lives. And this year, it's back, alongside more bills and a louder fight. I've lived the policies that they debate, and I've survived what they ignore. And we need bold, lasting solutions.
Policies that lower the cost of essentials, rent, food, medical care, support and prevention for survivors of violence, infrastructure that connects our communities, and medical care that doesn't bury families in debt. Investment in our public education and a Florida where no one is left behind, no matter their zip code or paycheck. It's time for policy to reflect the people it's meant to serve.
And in the State House, I'll fight for what working families actually need.
We don't need more politicians who have never had to choose between groceries and rent.
We need leaders who have lived the policies they write, who have felt the fallout and still showed up. We need someone who's lived it, who gets it, who's one of us and fights like it. I'm Amy Trask, and I'm running to represent us in the Florida State House for District 22, because politics should serve people and not the other way around. One of us for all of us.